Caramella closed up early today because of the festival. Our regulars all knew of the local holidays, so I didn't need to explain why we were closed all of a sudden. Thanks to that, we were able to close up smoothly for the day, and Chisato was able to hurry home to the shrine. With that, Mira and I went off together to the festival. I went in front of Caramella, checking the time over and over again on my phone. Mira had gone home to get ready and said she would come back, but it probably would have been best to set a meeting time. Meeting up with a girl like this is a first for me. I'm strangely uneasy.
お待たせしました。
Oh, Niwasaka.
ごめんなさい。浴衣着るのに手間取って。
Wow. She's as cute as ever. I was captivated by the sight of Rira coming towards me wearing a traditional Japanese yukata. She said she needed to get ready, but I didn't think she meant she was going to wear yukata.
大木沢くん、変ですか?
I mean, like, there are a bit too many lemons, but other than that, I'm sure it's fine. No, not at all. Of course not. It really suits you, especially all the citrus.
ありがとうございます。
Really contrasts your sweet personality. Never mind. She was always wearing a Japanese-inspired uniform at the cafe, so I felt like I should be used to seeing her wear things like this. But seeing her in a yukata was totally different, because it's not a maid outfit. Hello? It flattered her so nicely that she looked so cute. She looks a bit nervous. Yeah, it's really cute on you.
そんなことは。
Vera turned bright red when I complimented her. That alone was so cute. I felt as if I could watch them forever. Is Chimaki at home right now?
はい。お祭り、人が多そうだから。本当は一緒が良かったけど。
I see. Let's get going to the festival. It would be a shame if we missed it.
はい。行きましょう。
To hide my embarrassment from her, I suggest we go, so we head off to the shrine. Head off towards the shrine. Vera walked slowly beside me, and used to her shoes. Today it'd be best to go slowly and watch every step we take. We arrive at Komata Shrine. After taking our time walking, it was bustling with a huge turnout of people. Wow, there sure are a lot of people here.
はい。
Being at a festival with the crowds of people going every which way sure was exciting, but it might be a bit difficult for Rira to navigate well in her yukata. Yosaka, could you give me your hand?
手ですか?
Puzzled, she outstretches her hand towards me. It's so tiny and pale. If you don't want to, just tell me. I grab her small hand. She looks at me in surprise, her cheeks flushing in embarrassment. There's a lot of people, so I thought we might get separated if we don't. Separated and if we don't. Yeah, okay.
はい。そうですね。
She nods and takes my hand in response. Her face still red. My heart is pounding. I'm so happy. Even though I suggested holding hands, I'm so embarrassed. Not wanting to let go of her hand, I hold it tight and continue on walking.
お店いっぱいですね。どこから見ようかちょっと迷います。
You're right. Did you want to start from one end and go to the other?
それも楽しそう。
We walked, looking at each stall, to our left and right. No matter which way we looked, there was delicious food and fun games waiting. We couldn't decide on what to choose. Vera looks at each stall with a bright and excited smile. My heart is beating so much, looking at her smiling face while holding her hand.
あれ
Huh? What's wrong? We walk together, hearts ablaze, when Rira stops in front of a shooting gallery. I look towards it and see the targets and many different prizes lined up.
あそこぬいぐるみがあるの。
Oh, that. It's pink and fluffy. What Rira was pointing at was a rabbit plushie. A gentle smile comes to her face when she stares at the prize. Is it also pink?
あれちまきちゃんみたいって。
So it is pink. Of course it is. You're right. It really does look like her. She continues to gaze at the plushie. She must really want it. Wait a sec. If you want it, I'll go get it for you.
そんな悪いからいいよ。
Why is like everything rabbit themed pink? Pink is normally white. It's okay. I want to get it for you, Niwasaka.
そんな。
I pay the guy at the stall, take my bullets and load them into the toy gun. I take my aim. Yes. On the first try, I hit the rabbit plushie Riro had wanted.
すごい。
You know, usually you aren't aiming for the prize, but whatever. The stall guy hands me the plushie, and I hand it to Rira. Here you go, Niwasaka.
でももらってもいいの？
Of course. I mean, I did get it for you to begin with.
ありがとう、扇沢くん。
Alright, now we cut back to the CG, and now she's holding the rabbit plush, surely, right? Her slightly uncertain look becomes a smile as she takes the plushie in her arms.
ふかふか。帰ったらちまきちゃんに見せてあげなくちゃ。
I wonder if she'll be surprised. Maybe she'll think of it as a new friend.
だったらいいな。扇沢くん、本当にありがとう。
You're welcome. What should we do next?
リンゴ飴食べたい。
Oh yeah, candy apples. They have some over there, so let's go get some. Oh, I was right. Why is there like a citrus fruit? I don't know what kind. Tangerine. Sure, but that's too small. The fruit is too small for it to be a tangerine. Never mind. After getting some candied apples, we go around together, looking at the stall slowly. Also, the rabbit is pink. Okay. It's slightly pink, but it's still pink. Oh, the food here looks so great. It looks so, yeah, looks so great, doesn't it?
はい。いつもより美味しそうで、ちょっと食べ過ぎちゃう。
Oh, since we're here together, why don't we split things so we can try lots?
本当だ。後でたい焼きも食べたい。
Okay, let's get some later. We could try catching some goldfish at the goldfish scooping game, but I don't have an aquarium to put them in at home.
うん。う ちにもないし、連れて帰ってあげられないからかわいそうかも。
Maybe let's try something else instead then.
ちまきちゃんのお土産も買ってあげたいし、見たい屋台もまだまだあるから。
Well then, let's get going. As I pull her along hand in hand, she clasps her hand even tighter. Happy, I clutch her hand in response, never wanting to lose it. After enjoying the festival, we go to the park to take a break from all the people. The empty and quiet park was a nice contrast to the bustle of the festival. We sit together on a bench, and I think of my memories of the past as I gaze at her profile. Maybe I can ask her about those memories now. Yurosaka, there's something I want to ask you about.
聞きたいこと？
Yeah, it's about something when I was little. You might not remember it, but I think we might have met each other when we were little here at this park. I always wanted to ask you about it, but just couldn't find the right timing. Do you remember it?
忘れちゃったのかと思ってた。
Yeah, I knew Vera remembered. Huh?
もうずっと前だし、一度きりだったし、私だけが覚えてるのかなって。
Now the question is when she remembered it. Like, was it after a few days together, or was it like as soon as she recognized that Asaki was managing Caramella, right? So then we met a long time ago.
ずっと前にあ
Oh,
ったよね。
that's her saying it.
あの時の豆大福、美味しかったよ、朝輝くん。
I'm a bit confused with this pronunciation of his name, right? He is Asaki, right? But she calls him Asagi. Sometimes, I think, or is it every time? Hang on, let me go up. No, she calls him Ogisawa, but sometimes she calls him Asagi Kun. I need to put the honorific there as well, because I'm quoting her. Never mind. That girl, she was crying. I knew I was gonna mess up one day. I knew I was gonna mess up saying a line of a character that was of a different character, but you know, can you blame me? She didn't say anything until I was like half of a sentence in, and she. Like, I was like, we met a long time ago, and then she started speaking, so, like, can you blame me? You don't need to cry anymore. I'm still sick, so I'm not gonna do it. Alright, you know what? Fine, I'll do it once. It's really okay. Never mind. Don't cry.
君は誰？どこの子なの？
My name is Ogisawa Asaki. Once again, I don't have a joke for the H in Ogisawa. I'm just visiting my grandma's house, so I don't live around here.
朝輝って珍しい名前。
You think so? Your name is pretty rare too.
そう？
Yeah, I've never met anyone named Girl before. Yeah, it's the first time I've met anyone with that name. Girl. That's pretty exotic.
朝日も初めて聞いたもん。あ、聞こえた？
Yeah, are you hungry? Perfect timing. You know, my grandma is really good at making yummy desserts. She runs a store.
お店？
Yeah. A store that sells tea and dessert. A cafe is what it's called, I think. Do you know it?
近くにお店があるのは知ってる。お母さんと行ったことあるとこかも。
It's probably that store. Have you had this before?
え？
What's wrong?
お餅嫌い。
So cute. Oh, I didn't know. Sorry.
あのね、あんまり食べないから、いつもお正月だけで。
Yeah, it's really yummy. My grandma's daifuku really is special.
そうなの？
Yep. I usually don't like the red bean paste on the inside of a daifuku too much, but I can eat grandma's because it's so yummy. Did you want to try some?
じゃあ、ちょっとだけ。
Okay, go ahead.
ありがとう。いただきます。
You haven't bitten into it yet. How is it?
おいしい。こんなお餅食べたことない。
You can eat yummy stuff like this all the time at grandma's store.
すごい。君のおばあちゃん、魔法使いみたい。
Yeah, now it's Chisato who's the magician. I'm sure grandma would be happy to hear that. Is your tummy better now? If you're still hungry, you can have mine too.
もっと食べたいけど、大丈夫。
I'm glad to hear it.
今度、お母さんと一緒にまた行ってみる。お餅、もっと食べたいから。
The mochi dessert you had earlier is called black bean daifuku.
豆大福。わかった。覚えとく。あのね、お餅とあんこ食べられるようにしてくれてありがとう。あとね、一緒に遊ぶ？
Yeah. So then, it really was you, Vera. Vera smiles and nods while gazing at me. That girl I met back then, it really was Niwasaka. No, Vera. They are the same person, yes.
あのね、本当はもっと早く気づいてて、前に二人で公園で新メニューのアイデアを話してるとき。
Now that she mentions it, there was a point where she looked like she was pondering something. She must have realized it then. Okay, so that's when she realized it. Yes, that is what Asaki said, and thanks. You should have said something then.
言えなかったし、その時はまだ確信がなかったから。
When did you realize it was me you met back then?
この前、お見舞いに来てくれた時、豆大福を持ってきてくれて、食べさせてもらった時に。
Oh, so it's that late. I thought it was earlier than that. Ah.
思い出の味と同じだった。
I mean, I guess that would make sense. You did give her black bean daifuku, so she was reminded of the past. So that's what she meant by being full after only one bit of it.
あさきくんのことを思い出したら、 公園で会った時のこともたくさん思い出して。
Listen,
覚えてる？
Asaki only remembered that your hair was pink back then as well. Back then, she was just here crying. But why? Oh,
私、あの時、男の子にいじめられてて、それがとても怖くて。だけど、何も言い返せなくて。
that's what it was. All I saw in my dream was Rira crying, but that was the reason for her tears. There were 3 unknown boys who took turns bullying her. I couldn't stand for it, so I went to stop it.
泣くことしかできなかったら、朝輝くんが来てくれたの。
But in the end, I couldn't stop them. All I did was end up in a fight.
私のこと、守ってくれたよ。
I wonder what really did happen back then. I remember the bullies leaving, but
喧嘩になったら、朝輝くんがボロボロになっちゃって。でも、必死に私を守ってくれたから。そしたら、いじめっ子は、これ以上怪我させたらダメって思ったのか、帰っちゃって。
so that's what happened. To tell the truth, I really couldn't remember if I had protected Rira, but I do know that that child me would have definitely done something like that.
私、助けてもらったのに、ずっと泣いてばっかりで、お礼も言えなくて。
Ah, I see. That's why you cried then.
でも、朝輝くんはずっと私に話しかけてくれて、泣き止ませようとしてくれて。
After that, we had the black bean daifuku, right? Okay, she also says Asaki. Yeah, right. She's been saying it a bit, but yeah, she says Asagi sometimes, but Asaki other times. Like, is it? It's got to be a typo, right? Because what other reason would she have for saying gi instead of ki?
お腹鳴っちゃったの覚えてる？
I do. How could I forget? I'm so happy to see your smile after you had that daifuku.
そうなの？
Yeah, I mean, at first you said you hated them. Of course, I'd be happy if you ate them up with a smile.
あの時は本当にあんまり食べたことなくて。でも、本当に美味しかった。この前持ってきてくれた豆大福。今は千里さんが作ってるけど、あの時と同じ味だってすぐにわかったよ。
Chisato is actually Asaki's real grandma. No, Grandma's black bean daifuku were delicious, like always. But it wasn't just that. It was that they also tied Vera and I together. We played together after eating the daifuku, right?
その後のことは？
After that, that's right. Vera and I promised something together.
また遊ぼうって。
And I never showed up again until now. Oh, you're right. I really did promise that to her back then, but I hadn't fulfilled it. I know it's really sudden, and I may be a bit late, but I'm really sorry. I was supposed to be here for a while longer, but because of my dad's work, we ended up going home the very next day.
そうだったんだ。よかった。嫌われたんじゃなかったんだね。
No, I actually do hate you. No way. Of course I wouldn't hate you. The memory of that day is so important to me. Except for the fact that I didn't remember your name until now. It shows up in my dreams. That's why it's so nostalgic for me to have come back here to Grandma's, except when I choose Rich's route and forget all about the flashback that I had. Oh, I'm really sorry. It was me who made you feel like you were hated too.
違うの。謝ってほしいんじゃなくて、
Don't.
私、本当に安心して。
Kira really did look reassured as she shook her head from side to side in response. But just why did she think I would hate her? Did I do something to you back then?
そうじゃないの。でも、私、小さい頃から引っ込み思案で。
I mean, yeah, considering you are a self-proclaimed hikikomori.
朝輝くんが助けてくれた時みたいによくいじめられてたから、だから嫌われたのかなって思って。
Upon saying that, Rira's expression sunk. I had no clue, but my heart pained to know I had hurt Rira so much. I'm so sorry. If only I had remembered it all earlier.
違うの。私すごく怖くて、朝輝くんがあの時の男の子だって気づいた時に嫌われたのかもしれないって思っていたことも思い出して。
Yeah, because if I hated you back then, after realizing that Rira was the girl from the past, I would immediately start hating you now.
また嫌われたらどうしようって思って、そうしたら言えなくなって。
Rira grips her hand tightly without a word as she hangs her head down solemnly. I gently caress her hand to console her when she brings her head back up to look at me. I really should have remembered earlier. I'm sorry for worrying you.
謝らないで。朝輝くんはいつも優しくて、昔も今も私を守ってくれて、私は守ってもらってばかりで何もできなくて。
That's not true at all. You saved me countless times, Rira. I grasp her hand tightly and stare into Rira's eyes. I want to relieve her of all her uncertainties. I hold her hand tightly once again. Coming to help Caramella when we had no one else, and thinking up all those items. They're all things I can't do myself.
私も朝輝くんを助けられたの？
Absolutely. You're irreplaceable to us, and when I came back to this town, I didn't feel alone at all. That's because I had my memories of... I had my memories of with you. I had my memories of you, Rira.
朝輝くん。
As she heard those words, tears began to trickle from her eyes. Rira, I didn't mean to make you cry. As each tear drops gently onto the rolls and rolls down her cheek onto the rolls, I embrace her. My heart feels like it could jump outside my body with every beat as I hold her tiny body in my arms. Rira,
あの時も今も助けてくれてありがとう。私、嫌がらせがあった時、昔のことを思い出してたくさん怖くなって。
yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't protect you.
リセちゃんや佐藤さんや他にもみんないっぱい心配してくれて、それがすごく迷惑なんじゃないかって思って。
You know, I do feel bad because this game doesn't have a normal route, right? Any character development that happens in Rich's route and Rira's route can't show up in 2 without, like, retconning one or the other, right? All of the character development would have had to be in the normal route of this game, right? But clearly, as you see from Rira's route, there are still some issues that she needs to hash out, like with the bullying. And in Rich's route, there's Ato. And like, how are you going to have both routes, but also neither? Because in the second game, you can you can romance Rira and Richa as well, right? So like, how I I don't get it.
でも、さきくんは迷惑じゃないってずっと言ってくれて、ずっと心配して守ってくれて、すごく嬉しかった。
Like, how were the developers going to justify either Rira's character development or Rich's character development through their routes in the next game without making one of the routes canon, right? You can't, because at the end of the routes, they're dating, right? You're not going to have Richa in the first game dating Asaki at the end of her route, and then at the second game, they're just back to square one again, and then you have to go through her route again to date her again. Like, how does it work? Is it going to be like is it going to be like an extension of the normal route? I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait until the second game then, where it brings her chin up and looks at me. Tears remain welled in her eyes. Without any thought, I rub her cheek and brush her tears away with my hand, surprising Rira a bit, but quickly a look of reassurance came to her face soon after. You were scared the whole time, and yet you worked so hard day in and day out. Thank you.
一番怖かったのは、さきくんと一緒にいられなくなるかもしれないって思った時で。
Rira's words stopped after that. She didn't need to tell me why. You thought that maybe we'd never see each other again.
私、さきくんに会った次の日からしばらく毎日公園に行ってたの。でも、会えなくて辛くて。
Aww.
だから、また会えなくなったらどうしようって思って、胸が苦しくなって。
Again, Rira hugs me tightly. I notice her trying to snuggle into me more and more, and she shakes timidly. My heart's pace speeds up with the softness and warmth of her tiny body.
もう離れたくない。ずっとさきくんと一緒にいたい。
Is that a confession? Those words, my heartbeat instantly fastens. Just how do I think of Rira? I said I'd protect her because she's my employee. That was the truth, but it wasn't only that. I'd never given it much thought. I knew inside of me, I had the same feelings. Rira, I never wanted to be apart from you too.
一緒の気持ちだったの？
Do. And thanks for the time we spent together. And thanks for the time we spent together when we were little. Thank you for coming back to the park again and again, just after meeting me once.
そんなお礼なんて。だって私も会いたくて。
Because of me, you felt scared and worried. But I won't ever do that to you again.
信じていい？
It's okay. I stroke her cheek as I tell her. She looks into my eyes and closes hers softly. I bring my lips towards hers, slowly towards hers. We bring our lips together over and over as Vera returns my kiss. As if trying to confirm reality, we embrace each other tighter.
I
I never want to let her go. I want to stay like this here forever. Vera's feelings filled me up inside. We part our lips from each other, and Vera opens her eyes to look at me. Gazing at her like this, my feelings for her flourished. Vera, I love you.
私も朝輝くんが好き。大好き。
Look, all I'm saying is, they were building up to it. So I'm glad that they didn't stall any longer than this scene. We whisper to each other as I bring her body close to mine once more and embrace. Can't let go of my small soft Vera. I can't make her sad again. I promise from the bottom of my heart as I hold her. Cute. But surely there's more game to go, right? As in, like, an epilogue. From that day forward, Vera and I were boyfriend and girlfriend. Every morning, Vera would come and meet me before school.
朝輝くん、おはよ
Morning, Vera. As if it was nothing, she had come to meet me at my house. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming all the way here all the time. Isn't it tough to wake up this early every morning?
う。大丈夫。学園でもお店でも会えるけど、できるだけずっと一緒にいたいから。学園に向かう途中に朝輝くんのお家はあるから、迎えに来たら一緒にいられる時間も増えるでしょ。だから平気。
Of course, I want to spend as much time as I can with you too. I'm just worried it might be a burden for you every day. Maybe I'm just overthinking things.
一緒にいられる方が大事だから。
As she answers, a smile drifts to her face. Seeing her adorable expression, I can't help but smile back. Well then, let's go. I say, holding out my hand to Vera, which she takes and squeezes tightly. With that, we both look at each other and smile.
朝輝くん。
Okay, it's gotta be a typo. Right, alright, listen to this. Alright, you hear Asaki here,
朝輝くん。
and then you hear Asaki here. Where is it?
朝輝くん、おはよ
It's the same, right? When I see her say Asagi, I know why sometimes I think she's saying Asagi when she's saying Asaki. It's got to be a typo, but like Richard's route doesn't have the. Maybe I was blind in Richard's route. Never mind. I'm thinking too deeply in this. We walk together side by side, holding hands. That would be how you could describe it. But holding hands and walking together like this made us so incredibly happy. It was as if our smiles would never disappear. And then Vera dies in a car crash. What?
リラちゃん、大木沢くん、おはよ
I don't think it's a secret that Vera and Asaki are dating now, I guess.
リセちゃん、おはよ
At least not to Richa. And Chisato. Chisato definitely knows that they would probably start dating. Morning, Shianomiya.
二人とも朝からとっても仲良しですね。
Are they not holding hands right now? Ah, haha. Yeah, I guess you're right. Richard giggles as we greet her. Still holding hands. It's a bit embarrassing, but I'm happy having others recognize Vera and my feelings for each other. Yeah, she.
でも、大木沢くんと付き合うようになってから、リラちゃんが一緒に登校してくれなくなったんです。
I mean, like, harem. See, that Never mind. That wouldn't explain the plot hole in the second game. I don't even know if there's a plot hole in the maybe I should stop talking about the second game. Richard quickly begins to sulk. Ah, you're right. You two always walked together, didn't you?
でも私はもう朝樹くんとずっと一緒だから。
Talk about possessive. I don't mind though. What?
でもたまには私と一緒に。朝樹くんと一緒にいられないとなんだか落ち着かないから。
Okay, she's a bit too clingy. It's a bit that's listen. That line is a bit unhealthy.
私のリラちゃんが。
Look, if she's saying it jokingly, that's fine. But if she isn't, there's some issues we gotta hash out. Let's just say it wouldn't be that awful to go with her every now and then.
だってまた離れて会えなくなったら嫌だから。
Guys, I don't think it's a joke. I think she's being a bit too serious about this. That won't happen. We've got school and work together. And on days off, I'll go and see you. But only before the second game. God damn it. I said I wouldn't talk about it. Riri looks as if she's pondering my words. Seeing her thinking things over makes a smile come to Richard's face. I sure hope that there's more to Rira's route after the confession, because this episode would be less than an hour long.
冗談だよ、リラちゃん。本当はリラちゃんが笑顔で学園に通ってくれたらそれでいいから。リセちゃん、ごめんね。ずっとリセちゃんにはいっぱい感謝してるのに。大丈夫。ちゃんと分かってるから。リセちゃん。昔のこと、大げ沢くんにも話していいかな。私がリラちゃんのこと心配しちゃう理由。朝樹くんになら全部知っててほしい。
I mean, we are dating. They are dating, so, you know, it's only fair.
もう、本当に最近のリラちゃんは朝樹くんばっかり。あのね、大げ沢くん、リラちゃんが幼い頃、登校拒否してた時期があるんです。
I see. Maybe that started after I met her in the park. That first time. If that was the case, then maybe I had something to do with it.
私、リラちゃんを毎日迎えに行ってて、それでもなかなかリラちゃんは登校できなくて。
Yeah, so that's when she was grade A hikikomori.
そんなことが続いたんですけど、ある日急に思いついたことがあって、私、うさ耳をつけてリラちゃんの家まで行ったんです。
I didn't know they were going to talk about why she has bunny ears on all the time. I guess I'm glad they brought it up, but at the same time, like, it wasn't that important. Bunny ears. Richard also had bunny ears on today. Maybe those bunny ears are...
そしたら、リラちゃんは私のうさ耳を見て、可愛いって言って喜んでくれて。それからだよね。リセちゃんがうさ耳つけるようになったの。
So that's why.
はい。それからずっとつけているので、今はこれがないと逆に落ち着かなくなっちゃいました。
I mean, we see how much Rira likes rabbits. So, I guess it makes sense. I didn't know there was such a deep meaning behind her bunny ears. Yeah, me neither. I thought it was just a aesthetic choice by the artist of this game because she looks cuter with the bunny ears. I would have never thought it was all for Rira's sake. Because Richard has always been by her side. Vera is now able to smile and be here beside me.
大木沢くん、リラちゃんに何かあった時はうさ耳ですよ、うさ耳。
I guess I can't help but put them on in that case.
リセちゃん、それはちょっと。
I mean, like, doesn't Asaki have like gray hair or whatever? He can put on Rira's bunny ears and they'd fit, right? Because they're white.
でも重要なアイテムなんです、うさ耳。
Actually, maybe not. Got it. I'll keep it in mind. I'll keep it in mind. Sure.
はい、何かあった時は言ってくださいね。私の予備のうさ耳を貸してあげますから。
You have a stock of them? I mean, like, considering that she has to wear them on her head on basically 24/7, they would get dirty.
いろいろ使い分けているんですよ。手触りが違ったり、長さが微妙に違ったり。
I thought she had like the same pair just for different days because each day she would have had to put them in the wash. But she has different lengthed pairs, but we'll never see them because that would be too much for the artists. I never knew she cared about bunny ears so much. I guess that was like her though.
朝木くん、つけなくても大丈夫だからね。
I mean, like, you know, it's an idea for the bedroom. What? I didn't say that. Oh, okay, I get it. I'm impressed by your dedication to bunny ears, though, Richa.
これ以上二人のお邪魔をしちゃ悪いし、先に教室に行って待ってるね、リラちゃん。
And now Richa will stop wearing bunny ears, and Rira will have to force feminize Asaki to wear the bunny ears. Force rap. Never mind.
リセちゃん、そういうのじゃ。
She's right. You're no bother at all. You're not a bother at all.
ちゃんとわかってます。それじゃあ、リラちゃんをよろしくお願いしますね。
Goodbye. Richard waves at us with a grin on her face and speeds on without us. I'm really embarrassed, but I'm glad that Richard's glad for the both of us too. I mean, like, she would be, yes.
もう、リセちゃんたら。
Rira mumbles shyly with a gleeful look on her face. Well then, we should get going too then.
行こう。
We look at each other, entwine our hands together, and set off again. It was just a while longer until we'd get to school. Ah, Kansaki. Morning.
おはよう。
Yeah, you see me holding hands with Rira? Fuck you. On our way to school, I spot Nana and call out to her. She seemed a bit unsure, but I feel relieved since she responded like normal. But Rira, on the other hand, I mean, Rira knows that Nana liked me. Fuck, Asaki. Listen, I don't want to become a self-insert. All right, I don't want to think of Asaki like a self-insert. All right, I'll get too into it. Especially the hate scenes. As if on alert because of Nana's nearby presence, she begins to squeeze my hand fiercely. Noticing this, Nana begins to look troubled.
もう、そんな警戒しなくていいじゃん。何もしないし。っていうか、もしかして見せつけてる？
Look, I'm glad that she realizes that she has no shot with Asaki after what she did to Rira.
朝木くんがいなくなるのは嫌だから。
I'm not going to go anywhere, you know.
でも、 昔いなくなったもん。
Yeah, but like, that was before I owned the cafe, okay? It's different now, right? It's different.
何？二人って昔から知り合いだったの？
Yes. Nana's eyes widen in surprise upon hearing Rira's words. Rira nods her head in response.
そうでした。でもしばらくずっと会えなくて、だからもう離れないって決めたから。
Okay, well, you're making it sound like ever since we met for the first time in this game, we always knew that we would be together. That we were together in the past. We knew each other in the past. While holding my hand tightly, Rira is able to tell Nana her feelings, despite it being a bit broken up. Seeing Rira like this makes a big grin come to Nana's face.
なんだ。ちゃんと自分の気持ち言えるんじゃん。
I mean, yeah, she is coming across as more confident, and less skittish than before.
黙ってたらダメだと思ったから。
She just loves Asaki that much, okay?
その方がいいと思うよ。ま、できるなら最初からやっとけばいいのにって思うけどさ。
Rira nods slightly and looks back towards me, gripping my hand tightly yet again.
私は朝輝くんのおかげで自信が持てるようになったから。もうまたのろけるし。そういうつもりはちょっとはあるけど。
Damn, she's just admitting that.
あるんじゃん。って本当こういう話普通にできるんだったら最初からちゃんと話せばいいのに。
There's like a different side of Rira we would never get outside of her route. I will not continue the sentence because you know where I'm going to go with it.
でもそれは。はいはい。大木沢くんがいてくれるからでしょ。
Nana says with a slight smile as Rira nods yet again. I'm happy to see the two of them talking like this naturally. I begin to grin. Talking like this naturally, I begin to grin.
もう本当にすぐのろける。ま、いいけどもうしょうがないし。
Kanzaki?
そんな顔しなくていいし。じゃあ私先行くから仲良くしすぎて遅れないようにね。
Yeah, unfortunately they're in different classes. Ah, yeah. Waving to us, Nana sprints off towards class. Seeing her off, Rira clenches my hand tightly yet again. Rira?
朝輝くんはもういなくならないって言ってくれて約束したけど、安心できるまではいつもくっついてる。
For such a shy girl, she is not afraid of public displays of affection. Rira whispers, pushing her body up next to mine. Being able to feel not only the softness of her hand, but also her body heat makes me embarrassed. The slight pink of her cheeks are so adorable. It's embarrassing, but being together like this makes you, with you makes me so happy, Rira.
私も一緒だとすごく嬉しい。
I'll never worry you or make you cry ever again.
信じてる。
But if you do feel worried about anything, let me know, okay? I'll make everything better for you, Rira.
ありがとう、朝輝くん。
She gazes at me with a graceful smile on her face, and I grasp her hand yet again. She returns my feelings by intertwining our fingers together. staring into each other's eyes and smiling and holding hands like this. I'm so happy, it makes my heart so warm. I'm filled with feelings for Rira. Let's be together forever.
ずっと二人で一緒
Until the second game. Well, I didn't say that. With smiles on our faces, we head towards school together. I'm sure that from here on out, we'll continue going to school like this, hand in hand, side by side. Okay, well that sounds like the end. Shit. Listen, all I'm gonna say is, I don't think I'd be able to yap for another hour, half an hour, okay? Like, I was not expecting the game to end off here, okay? Look, I guess I have to tell you my feelings on this game. It's good. It's alright. It's cute, very cute, in fact. Rira and Rich are very cute. CL and Cordon are very cute. We'll definitely see more of CL and Cordon next game. But regardless, I've talked too much about the issues I've seen when with the second game before I even touched the second game. So let's not talk about the second game. Let's talk about this game. Rich's route with Eito was shit. Holy. All ages version, by the way. I hated it. Right? The stakes were too high, in fact. That's kind of the problem. The stakes in Rich's route were a bit too high, especially for this kind of game. Right? This is meant to be like a slice of life game. There might be a bit of conflict in it, right? With Rira's route, it was perfect, right? It was just bullying, right? You know, for Rira, it might have been like the end of the world, but at the end of the day, doesn't really matter that much. Unlike Rich's route, where there's literally this whole fucking like blackmail subplot where if Richard doesn't work for Eito, Eito's gonna do everything in his power to shut down Caramella. Like, what the fuck was going through the heads of the writers when they thought that shit up? Like, huh? Excuse me? Okay, sure. I don't know what game you're trying to write for, but this ain't the type of genre we're looking at. This ain't the type of genre I was expecting. And then it was all sorted through like a sweet showdown, and like, okay, that's weird. Sure, why don't we just let why don't we just have Richard continue working here while you know, while we have this idea for a sweet showdown, okay? Why not, huh? All right, so Richard's working at Eito's store for like a week before we realize that she's working at Eito's store for that week. She clearly doesn't want to be there, and we find out that she's there, and for some reason Asaki's like, maybe she wants to work here instead of at Caramella, even though she clearly never quit working at Caramella, so clearly she doesn't want to work here. Like, huh? And then Chisato realizes that Eito is blackmailing Richard to work here because she realized that the suppliers started supplying to Caramella again after Richard started working for Eito. Like, and of course she doesn't bring it up to anyone until after the Sweet Showdown, which is like however long after we find out that Rich is working here. So now she's being forced to work here for however long until we do this bullshit Sweet Showdown, and of course we win. Who would have guessed? If you've played any fucking, if you've watched any, if you've seen any story before, you knew that was going to happen, especially since this is a short visual novel. And then only now, after the Sweet Showdown, Chisato is like, hey, Eito's dad, this is the bullshit that he's done to us. And Eito's dad is like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Eito? I'm gonna have to retrain you. And I'm like, fine, I guess that's a good punishment for this kind of for this kind of visual novel, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind smashing his head against the fucking wall at least once, you know? But that's my gripes with Richard's route. Rira's route was so much better. I love Rira. He's so cute. The conflict in it was a lot tamer, right? She was just getting letters from Nana and her friends telling her that she shouldn't work at Caramella, and at least it wasn't dragged out as much. Well, okay, the thing is, with Richard's route, the conflict kind of started after the festival, and with Rira's route, the conflict started before the festival, and then they had the confession, and of course, it's because we finished the conflict in Rira's story. It felt a little shorter. I don't know. It's because of the festival, right? Rira's route felt a little shorter because we basically had the confession during the festival part instead of like however long after the festival in terms of Richard's route. Anyway, I've been yapping on a bit too long. I'm trying to drag this out to an hour 30. That's going to be an impossibility, but you know, at least surely I'll be able to get to like an hour, right, if I continue yapping. But yeah, I have, well, after this I'm going to be playing Necropower Volume 2, and by playing I mean posting the VODs because I already played them. Spoiler alert, I'm trying to create a backlog so that when I eventually go on holiday, which will be in like December, I'll have at least 2 weeks worth of videos in the backlog. A little behind the scenes for you, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. If you've watched my streams, you should know my plan is Necropower Volume 1 Loves with Garnish 1, right? I've already done that. And then Necropower Volume 2, and while I'm posting the Necropower Volume 2, I'm going to be recording Loves with Garnish 2. And then while I'm recording Loves with Garnish 2, I'll be playing Necropower Volume 3. And then after I post Necropower Volume 3, it will either be My Tetsu, which is this game about trains or whatever, or this other game I forgot the name of, but it's like a Ace Attorney kind of thing, but like it's called Master Magistrate, but like a ancient Japan version. I don't really know much about it, but I'm sure it'll be fun. I might do My Tetsu first out of the two, but I guess we'll have to see that until Volume 3. But until then, I'll see you next time in Loves with Garnish 2. So until then, bye bye, and let's hope that the plot holes aren't as egregious as I'm thinking they would be.